Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your man Siege. Got my man A Carter right over there next to me once again. Full screen this time. This is your next episode that y'all wanted to see of sports entertainment and
Extra
extra. Y'all know how we get
sheet.
down on SEE, the C cast over here. We got a good show for y'all today. We got a more well rounded show for this second one since we done came back. How you feeling? Let me start there. How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I got some fruit snacks going.
Oh man, do your thing. I see
Gotta
you.
keep the.
I see with the you still got the purple and black on, even though it's Venom. Crazy. That's
Oh yeah,
crazy. Crazy. Well, you know I ain't wearing my team. They clowning. But anyway, we
it's
go.
okay. Understandable.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna start off with the weekly recap. So first off, I got to start off with the UFC 307. I'm a huge fight fan. I watch boxing. I watch UFC. Uh, just whatever. I watch WWE. It don't matter. But UFC 307. Uh, Alex Pereira. Let me say his name as closely as I could get it. He got him another dub with his most tough dub he done had so far. It seems like to me. Of course, he did lose one to Israel Adesanya, but came back, got his belt right back, and just been destroying everybody since then. One of the most active champions ever, so got to give him that dub. He had his face split. He had dude's face split, eye split, nose was busted, broken and busted. But I will say, Roundtree is his name. Roundtree did put up a good fight. Had him stunned. Had Pereira stunned. So he was in there fight. He just ran out of gas. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it for the full 5 rounds in altitude because that was in Utah. So they was up in the mountains doing up there. So but anyway, UFC 307, great card. Juliana Vega won, which that was controversial. That was a controversial fight. She was banging, but again, Pennington was holding her own too. I thought Juliana Vega won the first round and then won 1 and 2, and then Pennington won 2 and 3, or not 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and then 5 was if Juliana Vega could have got her on the ground, I think she would have won hands down, but that didn't happen. They were standing up most of the whole time, but they gave it to Juliana Vega. Jose Aldo lost, the legend. He lost. That was wild. That was another controversial one because I can't even think of dude's name right now. Had him all up against the cage. He controlled the fight, but he wasn't throwing. He just, had Jose Aldo up against the ropes, or up against the ropes. Wow, I'm talking about boxing. Brought him up against the cage, tired him out, controlled the whole fight. So that's just a small recap. It was other stuff that happened. Joaquin Buckley, who looks like Woo, who looks like our cousin Woo. Shout out to you, Shelton. He got him a dub too in knockout fashion, so that was cool to see. So that's the UFC side of things right there. I'll keep it brief on that. Las Vegas Aces lost this week to New York Liberty. New York Liberty will now play the Connecticut Sun, I believe. Oh no. They got another game. No. I think it's the Liberty and the Sun. I gotta look that up, make sure I ain't tripping. But I'll get back to that for the WNBA finals, which last year the Aces beat the Liberty to get to the finals, and then how the rest went how it went. So now the Liberty number 1 seed is now facing, I believe, the Connecticut Sun to get to that championship, or to get the championship that they tried to get last year but fell a little short. Got that. Thirdly, my Cincinnati Reds are finally signing another manager that makes sense. We had Dusty Baker, then we had the guy we just signed now. His name shall not be mentioned because we ain't even touched sniffed the playoffs with him, in my estimation. And then now we got Terry Francona coming in this next year, who is a great manager in terms of building rosters from the ground up. We do have some talent, on the Reds roster, and I'll keep that one brief too. And then preseason basketball has started. waiting for the NBA to get back cracking, but full effect because it's still the preseason. But we'll see how our teams look. Your team just came off of a championship, Boston Celtics, for everybody who don't know, and then which y'all
Come
just took
on,
the
man. Stop playing with them.
y'all just took the lead with the Lakers because y'all got 18 now, don't y'all? Got 18. I think they got
Yep.
17. Yeah, yeah, it was a tie. Y'all
Yep.
broke it. That's what's up.
Because that in season tournament don't count.
Yeah, nah, it count. We can't say it don't count. Oh, in
So if
season?
that's the case,
No. I'll take that back. You said in season tournament. I was thinking
yeah, the
about
in
I was
season.
thinking about bubble, but yeah, in season tournament
Oh no,
definitely
I mean
that
bubble
definitely
count.
doesn't count. In season tournament definitely don't count. I mean, it count if you like. I think in 20 years the legacy will be like the players that's in the league that's younger now. Like let's say Shea Gilgis Alexander, him and name any John Morant, for instance. Like, let's say they both got two titles, the same amount of MVPs, the same amount, and that might be the tiebreaker between the two. Like, but he got 3 in-season tournaments and he only got 1. Like that, but that's 20 years from now. We're not counting that right now.
Yeah. No, the only way I think you count it is if they stick to it and keep it going. If they keep it going and it's something that's going to be done every year, and you got people that repeat and all of that, then not like you said, 15, 20 years from now, then yeah, you can add that into the accolades. But nah, not right now. So yeah, man, we won up 18,
Yeah, y'all
going
went up
going for
18.
going for 19.
Right, and that was my mistake saying that the in-season tournament count because I definitely do not believe it counts towards the championship titles. Actually, I don't even need to say I don't believe because I know it doesn't count towards the championship. Belief and knowing is two different things. Put that in your back pocket. So we got that.
Put that
We
in your pipe and smoke it.
we got that going, and then the big elephant in the room. Haha, see what I did there? The Crimson Tide took a huge L to Vanderbilt. Had a few other big L's last week in college football, and so I just think that right there is proof of what we talked about on the 4-3, which I kind of want to get into it just a little bit now. Is the college football landscape. So I'm gonna be quiet real quick, bro, and then I'm gonna let you discuss, why you think it's so many upsets and just the overall landscape. Anything you want to touch on college football?
Uh, to be honest, man, I think it's that playoff that we mentioned before. Like you said, we talked about that uh, a couple of years ago on the 4-3 podcast that we was on. Um, we knew that once the this 12 team playoff picture was going to open up the floodgates. We also knew that with the transfer portal and the NILs was also going to open up the floodgates. Even the thing is now is that the powerhouse teams don't have all the cards anymore. And anybody who knows football in general knows any given Sunday, any given Friday, any given Saturday. You know what I'm saying? You can win or lose. It don't matter. It's about what team is prepared and who's the best team that day. That's all that matters. You can have the best roster, you can have the best program, you can have the best coaches, you can have the best uniforms, trainers, whatever. But but within them 4 quarters of football, that 60-minute ball game, if you better than your opponent within that, you know what I'm saying, within that measure of time, and sometimes, excuse me, sometimes it's not even the whole 60 minutes. Sometimes you might only have to be better than somebody for that one play, that one drive, that one moment. You know what I'm saying? And now you're starting to see that a lot of talent is spread out across the country. You got players everywhere. You got people that couple of years ago probably wouldn't have got any notoriety or probably wouldn't have got seen are now moving to bigger schools and getting better opportunities. You got young boys that's 17 years old, even though they lost. The young boy that's 17 for Alabama been balling. Like he ain't gonna win no Heisman this year, but if he keep trending up the way he trending up before he leave, he's only 17. Like he's not even in the prime of his life yet. Like so. With that being said, he's still going to grow and all of that in that offense, and we're going to see that. But I don't know. It's just a lot of talent spread out across the country. So you got the one running back who's pretty much a lock for the Heisman. I don't want to mess up his name.
Uh,
Genty, I think his last name
yeah,
is.
John T or John T. It's spelled Gene T Y, but yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
So
John T. I think.
Jaunty, but yeah, he almost pretty as of right now, of course, because we still got a long rest of the season ahead. But as of right now, he pretty much a lock for a Heisman. If his numbers is even, I don't know, but slightly average compared, like he can coast the rest of the season and still be a lock for the Heisman. Because he been balling like to that effect. Now, if you even looking at just actual players besides him, like his numbers jumped off the charts. Like it wasn't even his name. Other than that, you got Travis Hunter out here. He's been balling week in and week out on
Man,
both sides of the ball. So he even makes a good argument for Heisman. You got Ewers, who was projected as a Heisman candidate coming in, he gets hurt, and then we got young Archie coming out here going crazy. You got
mm-hmm.
Cam Ward going crazy. You got the U back in full effect. Like whoa, didn't see that coming. So you got the
Right.
U back in full effect. Virginia Tech don't look bad this year. Like you got a lot of these teams that for us growing up were some of the powerhouses back then. Like we knew about the Virginia Techs, the Miami's. Um, Let me think another one. Boise State was another good one when we was growing up. A
Stanford.
lot of Stanford, Wisconsin, Nebraska was pretty decent back then too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's like you got some of these teams and they kind of fell off, and now with the NIL, the transfer portal, and all of this stuff right now. And now you got 12 teams that got a shot to get in. So with
Right.
that being said, you don't your season is not over until it's over.
Facts.
You can still and like we've seen a lot of big dogs, a lot of top 10 teams, a lot of top 25 teams go down. So when you got the scale moving like that, all you need is a shot.
Facts, because you could drop a game like let's take Alabama for instance, who dropped against Vanderbilt. They were the number one seed because they just had beat Georgia. They beat Georgia, lose to lose to Vanderbilt, dropped to number 7, I believe. Dropped to number 7. You figured 7 is still within the 12. So if they just had that one bad game where they just lost a game to Vanderbilt, number 7 seed, you're still in the playoff. You're not gonna get the first round bye, but you can come through and still get in the tournament. And you know what happens in the tournament, like you said, any time, anywhere at the tournament. Like you just got to get in there and get dubs. So yeah, it's not all over. The problem with the playoff would have been if, like, let's say Alabama was already 7 and then they lost their Vanderbilt. That'd be different because then they probably would have dropped out of the top 12. Still bowl eligible, of course, because you just because you're not in the 12 don't mean you don't make a bowl. But you get to the bowl game, but not in the. You have to have some more big wins, and that only that one loss against Vanderbilt if you slip from 7 out. So that's the only thing. So that gives them a great chance that they were number 1 and then lost, dropped to 7. As long as they don't have any other drops like that against any other team that way, which I don't even know what their schedule is. I know they got a pretty tough one, but I don't know if they play any team to the caliber of like Vanderbilt. But yeah, I agree with you though in terms of the landscape of college football. We talked about this a lot in terms of the transfer portal specifically. I think is the biggest thing that's helping college football spread the talent out because you figure you don't have to wait anymore. So once you transfer, it's no year wait. You know what I mean? So which it should be this way. Like if the coaches can say that coaches can recruit players and then bounce, I think players should be able to come there and change their mind and bounce. You know what I mean? As long as
Right.
they got it to where I think if you play 4 games, then you got to stay that year. But if you don't play 4 games after that fourth week or fourth game, if you're not suited for those games or whatever, then you can leave. So it's like you can leave and not wait. So I get it. I get I get the rule or whatever, but I think it's better for college football that those players can make their decisions on whether or not they want to stay, and then they can play right away. For instance, you figure Will Howard came from Kansas State to play at Ohio State. You know what I mean? And look what he's doing for Ohio State. Jump right in. Then you got Kyle McCord, who left Ohio State, went to Syracuse. He's able to play. So just because you might not be at a big program, or the big program might not have wanted to keep you, you can still go play for whoever. And then also, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people want to play right away. Like, everybody doesn't want to be on a team with four running backs deep, like USC when they had Lindell White and all of those Reggie Bush and all those all-star running backs. Everybody doesn't want to sit and wait their turn and play junior year. You know what I mean? Some people want to play now, get their family up out of whatever circumstance they need to be in. So you
I
got
mean,
that
yeah,
helping them out
it's
too.
gonna,
So
but in the long run, it's gonna backfire in the NFL. And that's my hot take on it. I don't gotta go too depth in it. I think that in the long run, especially on quarterback play and a lot of these skill positions, is going to affect the NFL negatively, just because Tom Brady touched on it a little bit ago. I want to say like a week or so ago that basically these quarterbacks are not even up to this point. They're not learning systems. They're learning plays. So when you go into the NFL, it's systems. Not unless these coaches in the NFL and the professional league adapt to adapt. You know what I'm saying? But like, hey, it don't matter about your system. It's about what plays you calling. So I guess it can balance out that way too. But a lot of these quarterbacks don't know a system. And like he was saying when he was at Michigan, he by the time he came to the NFL, he had he was familiar with a football system. So it was
yeah,
certain stuff that he was familiar with. So you can plug and play when you're familiar with a system. When you don't know a system and you just out there calling plays, okay, then it's a different type of teaching, I guess you can call it.
yeah, and I can dig that too. Where if you're not used to a system, you not might not be able to operate within a system. The only thing I would say is that we've seen a lot of great coaches adapt their systems to the player, and then that player is able to like Lamar Jackson is the perfect example. Like, y'all have Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco before, he ran a specific type of system. And then as soon as y'all get Lamar Jackson, it's like, okay, this kind of the player we kind of wanted to transition to. Let's adapt our personnel, adapt our system to him. That's not saying that Lamar Jackson didn't operate in the system, but the coach is smart enough to say, all right, like, we got a little bit of different skill set, a lot of bit of different skill set here. Let's change it. Let's change up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I
But
think
also
I
just
think
to
a lot of
piggy
NFL coaches don't. A lot of NFL coaches don't do that.
true. And just to piggyback off of that real quick, just this little moment of that. I think for us, it was a transition they was trying to make in general. We just didn't have the quarterback to make that transition
Oh, facts. Y'all try
because
to get
they
RG
because it
three and Tyrod and
yeah, like
yeah,
because that was stuff like if you were a Ravens fan, you could see what type of quarterbacks we was drafting, and then we had Flacco. Flacco hit, and you got to think like when Flacco first got there, he was a lot more mobile than what he is now. But of course, he's not Lamar Jackson mobile. I'm not about to say that, but I think it
not
wasn't.
even
It
close. My
wasn't.
allergies killing me.
Yeah, I don't think it was something that they had to buy into. Like, oh man, I think it was something like, okay, this is the guy. This is our quarterback. We evaluating him. All right, for this to work, we gotta change it. Like, I don't think it was something that they had to, you know what I'm saying, search for. I think they kind of went in with that plan out the gate.
Yeah, which makes sense. Which makes sense. Real quick about the college football landscape, we got Ohio State play Oregon this week. It's probably our toughest. Gonna be our toughest test. Um, Man, they got us as 3.5 point favorites, which is I think we can cover. I think we can cover. And then they got the total points under the points are set at 53.5. So that's over or under 53.5. So yeah, that's interesting. Money line they got us or they got them plus 135. So of course we the favorites. So if you bet 100 on Oregon, just straight up, then you make 135. But that's interesting. But I'm gonna check that line, and well, they got us plus. Oh yeah, it opened that plus three, or us being 3.5 point favorites. It's just three straight up now. That's interesting. Away, they giving us three. That means they think it's a pick 'em. But anyway, we could discuss that another time. I just wanted to go over that. They think it's going to be a close game, pretty evenly matched game, according to the line here. High scoring, close game, according to the line here. So that's interesting. I'm interested to see what we're gonna do. I think they need to go ahead and run Trevion Henderson and Quinshawn Judkins a lot, but Smith is a dog.
Right. Oh, H.
Ayo, man's a dog. But anyway, we can move along. We can go ahead and let's do shaking and faking. Forget it, bro. Let's do shaking and faking. This is our adaptation to Contenders and Pretenders. Everybody and their mama's always talking about Contenders and Pretenders, so we gonna change it to shaking and faking. Who's shaking and who faking? All right, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Who you think
All
shaking?
right.
Who you think faking?
So for one, I got like three different lists, man. I got people who I got in my shaking category who out here shaking things up. I got people that obviously looking kind of fakes, and I got some people that's I'm still on the fence about because the season is not quite over yet. Like they can balance it out. And then after this week, I got some people that I moved all the way over to faking. So so I'm gonna go with my teams that I think is shaking. Gotta say the Chiefs all top, man. You the champs, so you ain't the champs no more. They undefeated, of course, so I gotta put them up top. Um, I got the Vikings up top too because they're undefeated. Even though being undefeated doesn't mean that you're actually a contender, it could be, the teams that you're facing. You can only play the teams that are in front of you, but they look good. They look real good. I'm gonna try not to go too in depth on all of these teams, but Minnesota looks good, so I got them. Um, I'm on the fence with the Bills. On the fence with the Bills, but let me finish with my shaking. The Texans. See, I don't know my list like this past week because I had this list prior to today. So this was my list going into week 5, right? After week 5, a lot of stuff happened last week.
it really
so
did.
so okay. So look, I had the Niners in my shaking. I had the Seahawks. I had the Packers, the Bucks, and the Commanders. Ravens. I got the Texans in there. Yeah. So that's all of my teams that I got that's is shaking. You know what I'm saying? Contenders, right?
Okay.
But since last week, you got the Niners taking the L, you got the Seahawks taking the L, you got the Bucks taking the close L. You know what I'm saying? You got the Bills, they took an L. They done took two back to back. So it's like it's still it feels to me, even though it's only we're going into week 6 and you should be able to see who's running away from it, it's really kind of hard to tell. And then as far as faking it, most of these teams we can pretty much book them. And like I said, I added a couple people, especially after last week. I got the Jets, the Colts. I'm about to ruffle some feathers, but I don't care. The Cowboys, the Steelers, the Bears, and I'm officially put the Saints in there after this week. The Saints, the Jaguars. Oh,
Okay.
and the two teams I just added after this week, the Bengals and the Browns.
I mean, we already knew. Yeah, we only got one dub. We already knew what was up there. We can't
I
even
had
say.
to, but just to you know what I'm saying, just to kind of balance it out, going into last week. So like I said, I had this list like week four because remember me, like a lot of you guys don't know, you know, we talk about a lot of stuff off air behind the camera. So we knew that we was going to be doing this segment. So I had wrote down my little checklist 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, all right, let me look at see where everybody at. I'm like about week five, we should know. So I had to move a lot of people over. I had y'all originally Bengals and Browns. I was on the fence about.
Yeah,
It's like, all right, yeah, y'all lost a couple of games, but y'all like right there. And then like I said, I had now it's people that I had as contenders are shaking where I'm like, I don't know. Like the Niners don't look like the Niners of old. You know what I'm saying? The Seahawks, they started out kind of strong. They ain't looking too hot. So I don't know. But
yeah.
that's kind of my list so far. Uh like I said, the dominant list that I can say as far as people who's shaking it up in the league, I'll say the Chiefs, the Vikings, I'm gonna say Ravens just because we got a nice little win streak going after the slow start. Uh, I'm gonna put the Lions in there, and I'm gonna put the Commanders in there. The Commanders is rolling hot too, and I'm gonna say the Texans. Other than that, I'm kind of on the fence about the rest of those teams that I had in that shaking it platform. Like I'm not gonna say they faking it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like they not quite holding it down yet either. So some of them is still a couple of question marks out. And even given that, a lot of those teams got a lot of injuries going on too. So, but yeah, what about you?
Facts. So I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers for sure. So how I did my list is basically I looked at the divisions, see who was on the top, looking like they making a run. Look at the rest of the division and see who actually got a shot to do something, or do I think they'll fall off? The Bills, I think they safe. Jets, I mean they just fired their coach and they not getting no better. Dolphins is completely injured. Like their team is like ours. Like everybody seemed to be injured. And unfortunately for us, uh, our quarterback ain't the one that's injured. Uh, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that there. Um, I always hate to big up a rival, but I think y'all shaking. I think y'all roll the division out of here. I think the Steelers is faking. They don't have enough offense. The rest of the division is what it is. Texans, I think they comfortably win their division, though I don't think they will do nothing in the playoffs. Chiefs are the Chiefs. They definitely shaking. Broncos, they don't win a couple of games straight. So they looking pretty good, but I still think they faking. They definitely fakers. The whole NFC East to me is fakers. It don't matter who get the dub out of that division
But
because I think
but you even the Commanders is looking good right now.
they looking good, and especially because Jaden Daniels is doing it against some good defense, or some defenses that was projected to be good. So I'll give him that. I'm just saying like they'll definitely win the division. I believe. They got a nice comfortable lead. The Cowboys can't really stop the run at all. They still doing the same defense they did a few years ago. Not to say they don't have some pieces and they can't outslug people, but I just don't think that's the case. Philadelphia, they don't even know if they want to keep their head coach or not. The Giants is the Giants, even though they beat us. They still the Giants. Vikings, this is the interesting. The NFC North, and excuse me if I keep on scratching my nose, man. My allergies is really killing me. I'm trying not to sneeze over here. But the Vikings 5-0. They got a good defense this year, but they always do this. Anytime they get a lead, they go undefeated, then they just turn into pumpkins. I'm gonna say the Detroit Lions eventually hawk them and take that division. I still think the Vikings get to the playoffs what they do in the playoffs is beats me, but eventually Sam Darnold I think is a regress to the mean. That don't mean he's gonna be trash, but he just might be another iteration of Geno Smith, where he have a great year, come back down a little bit to earth. Like I said, I don't mean they're gonna be trash because they got a great defense, they got a great offense too, but I just don't see it. So to me, I'm gonna say the Vikings are faking. They gonna drop down, I think, by the end of the season. The Falcons lead the NFC South. I am not a believer in Kirk Cousins whatsoever. They are definitely faking. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers catapult them and win that division. Derek Carr is hurt, and so actually the Saints are starting. Uh, Rookie this year, Rattler, or this next game, they starting Rattler. That might be a recipe for disaster, depending on how he plays. Maybe he'll come out and he'll show some signs and do what he got to do to keep it upright. But who knows? They're gonna need a lot of Alvin Kamara to help him with that. Seattle Seahawks lead the division for the NFC West. I think they hold serve. Carolina, they got them a dub last week. It's Arizona, man. They always start hot. They do whatever they need to do. So I think San Francisco eventually straighten up and at least get second in that division, and then two teams out of that division go to the playoffs. But it won't be Arizona. Arizona are fakers, and that's my list right there.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's a lot of teams that it's like you got to give them benefit of the doubt. Like the Niners, I give the Niners benefit of the doubt. It's a good organization that got a lot of people hurt, a lot of key people hurt. CMC been hurt. Debo was out for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, and we know football, man. As you go and you can get people back. My thing is this, and this could just be this is just my opinion, is that if you're gonna get hurt, I guess get hurt in the beginning, because that way you got time to get people back. You know what I'm saying? You want to be healthier. You want to be as healthy as possible by playoff push.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to be as healthy as possible by November. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you still want to be in contentions. So by the time you get to November, you still got a shot at even making the playoffs. So you got a lot of these teams that they a couple losses away from having to pretty much win out to earn them a spot. But in a lot of teams' defense, like the AFC, the whole AFC as a conference in general, been beating up on each other. It's only the Chiefs that have an undefeated record. For
Right.
one, everybody else has minimum two losses.
Yep.
That's like I said, there's a playoff team. So you got the Ravens, two losses, the Bills. They got three losses now, don't they? No, they got two.
Bills too.
So we beat them, and then they just lost to the Texans. So yeah, they got two losses. Uh, who else am I thinking of? Pittsburgh. What they got two losses?
Pittsburgh, y'all and Pittsburgh got 2 losses.
Yeah. So it's like
Texans is the only AFC team with only one loss. Besides the Chiefs, they have none.
right.
Texans
So
4-1, Chiefs 5-0. Everybody else 2 losses or more.
yeah, so it's like when you got it like that, it's like nobody besides the Chiefs has really separated, like record wise. Nobody is really separated from the pack. Now it's a couple teams on the brink. And yeah, I might be a little biased here, but we one of them teams that's on the brink. We about to make a nice little run for it. You can see like teams like that that's picking up momentum. You see teams that started out the gates hot, but now it's starting to slow down like the Bills. The Bills started out hot, then they slowed down. But that's what you got when with Josh Allen. You'll have a game to where he throws six touchdowns, 400 yards, no picks, and then 2 weeks later he can't hit water. So it's like, and that's how that Texans game was. It was trash. And then, but anyway, Oh, I got to speaking of Bills and Bengals, right? So I just seen this today, man, and I wanted to throw it by you to see what you thought. So we got two teams that pretty much lost the game on the last possession.
Yep.
They did it two different ways. So you got the Bengals, who everybody is mad at Zach Taylor because they feel like they should have kept the ball in Joe Burrow's hands and threw the ball, at least threw a pass or two to try to get in better field goal range. They didn't. They ran it three straight times, kicked a 53 yarder. And then on the opposite, you got the Bills, who had the ball late and kept the ball in Josh Allen's hands, didn't do nothing with it, and everybody says that they should have ran the ball and played better field position and played a different type of game. So
Mm.
when you see those same scenario, two different teams, who was in the right, who was in the wrong? Do you think that the Bengals should have? Did they play it right? Because you got one team that played it the way everybody's saying that they should have played it. You know what I'm saying? It's like they flip flop.
I think the Bengals played it the right way. The problem with that kick was the snap or the holder. Because when he got it, the ball he let the ball hit the ground flat. He had to hurry up and get it back up, and then he missed, if I'm not mistaken, for the Bengals kick. So that was
Yeah,
more of a holding problem. I always err on the side of because you got to think they don't have a terrible kicker. You know what I'm saying? They kicker not terrible. So it's like he can make those 53-yard kicks, but if you got a wobbly hold, you gonna miss. Now
true.
they put him in a position. They put him in a position to win the game. So I can't be mad, and especially since my team last year, especially played it that exact same way and got like 2-3 dubs out of it. Like, all right, Dustin Hopkins, we need you to give us a 53-yarder, and he drilled it. So it's like, all right, I can't be mad at that. Now it's always hindsight. You know what I mean? It's always hindsight in those situations because you're looking at it like, dang, we didn't get it. But if they would have got it, nobody would be saying that. They'd be like, he's a genius. He ran the ball and got the clock out. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, but
us anyway. Like me and you, like if we was coaches of teams and it's 3 downs and we got to get better field position, we at least probably gonna throw it one time, bro. You know what I'm saying?
probably
That's
I'm
just
gonna
because
take a shot.
we just aggressive like that. But in terms of scheming and stuff like that, we gonna at least try to catch you off guard one time. But
Right.
that's just us. But I think I think the Bengals played it the right way. That hold was terrible though.
I think the hold was terrible. The holder folded at the end, which I appreciate. I think for Baltimore's sake, I caused that whole thing. So I was right next to the screen, and
That's what's up.
you know,
I need to do that more often on our games because apparently what I
so
normally be doing ain't working.
you ain't got the right type of ritual, bro. So anyway, so just Baltimore, bro, y'all want to bring me out to a game, and y'all like, hey, he our good luck charm. Hey, I'm your boy right here, bro. Die hard fan. Uh, come on, send me,
You
send me, send me some tickets. Hey, whatever, bro. We need. Hey, come on. We've been trying to get sponsors. Hey, we all we got. But anyway, come
Hey,
on.
Cleveland
Anyway,
Browns, get to us first.
either way, I don't care, bro. Come on, bro. Put us out there. It's 2024, man. This is C podcast, man. SEE Sports Entertainment and Extra
Extra
Shit. Get us
speed.
on the get us out there to your favorite games and let us get behind the scenes and patrol the sidelines, bro. What we'll be out there interviewing people.
Thanks. Hey, for sure
Probably
though. I
we
definitely.
might have to run because we ain't supposed to, but we be
Hey,
out
it
there
is
like,
what it is.
hey, but like, hold on, bro, who is these dudes? Hey, get them up out of here, like, nah, just playing. But anyway, I think that the Bengals they should have kept it in Joe Burrow's hand. I think if they would have kept it, if Zach Taylor wouldn't have been being, I think he was being scared. He played scared. It was scared play calling because the running game you're up against. You haven't been running the ball good all game. You're
Mm.
only in the game because of Joe Burrow. Like that's the only reason why you're in the game to why you got a shot to begin with. because he had the score.
And to
Now Dallas,
to be fair, even though their record is trash right now, their offense has been playing amazing. Like
right,
they offense been balling. It's the defense for them.
right, but that's what I'm saying. Like he's been scoring. So like he threw 5 touchdowns and 400 yards up until that last drive. So and then you say, okay, well he threw that one pick. Okay, it happened. He misjudged some stuff. Humphreys made a great play. Like I said, I'm not mad about it overall, but just for football's sake, they should have kept you pay him this money to win you games. Like that's what they're there for. It's a quarterback. If he's going to take the fall, if you lose, like there's no way I have a great game like that and lose because the coach decided to run the ball. Well, we at least need to, because you never know. Like you got to think, 2 drives before that, before regulation ended, Jamar Chase took a screen, a freaking RPO, 73 yards to the crib.
Yeah, man.
So you don't have to.
It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Like for me, that they shouldn't have done they shouldn't have passed it. But the only reason why I can say that is because 9 times out of 10, that kicker making that kick.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I agree, but I'm just saying is that me personally, I'm going to if my quarterback is the guy, if my quarterback is the guy, and that's what you there for, and I'm all in on you being that guy. We paid you that guy money. We paid you elite money. You supposed to be top 5, top 3, top 2 in a lot of people's categories. And the game is on the line. We've only won one game. We only got one game in our books. Nah, we at least going to try
That
to.
that only one
We're
game,
gonna.
boy. That's a hell of a one right there. Because
But you
we
see
got
what
to
I'm saying?
because now we got to bomb it out there. Now I'm just
You feel me? But it's like now, but it's like you said, I get that these kickers nowadays 50 yards is nothing. But it's like when you're in that position, I'm not saying take a shot as just trying to score, but I'm saying is you can try to get a little closer. You know what I'm saying? You can play
yeah,
that type of game. Like, all right, they haven't been able. We haven't been. They've been going back and forth. Like that game was a freaking shootout. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow accounted for 900 yards of freaking offense. Like that's insane. That's Tom Brady and Peyton Manning numbers. Like it's crazy.
yes.
So when you see that, it's like okay, if we got a shootout, what the classic saying, live by the gun, die by the gun. You know what I'm saying? Don't be you've been shooting all game and then at the end of it, ah,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
will say though, for most of the other teams, probably like 30, maybe 28 other teams. 28 other teams, if they in that field goal range with 53, they don't have no choice because they don't have the kicker. Kicker's been missing more kicks from distance, but the Bengals have a kicker who can make it. Y'all got Justin Tucker; he can make it from the couch. And then, I mean, he missed a couple this year, but he can
Right.
he can make it from the
He
couch,
make he make him when he count. He made that 50 he made a 54 yarder. You know what I'm
bro.
saying to tie it up.
And then not only that, like believe it or not, we got a decent kicker finally. Dustin
Right.
Hopkins, let's go.
I
So
mean,
he can make it, but and then the Chiefs, they got a kicker who can make it.
yeah.
Everybody
But I'm
else
just saying,
outside of them teams right there, it's like, all right, bro, like you got to throw it because it's like if you run it twice and you still ain't getting no yards or you're getting yards for loss, you can't 53 yards is not in your wheelhouse. You got to throw. Like you got to get in the
right.
47,
But
45,
like I said,
47 range, somewhere around in there.
even with that being said, I still think they should have left the ball in Joe Burrow's hands. You could have took a 53 yarder and maybe cut it down to maybe you didn't have to kick nothing. Maybe they could have scored a touchdown. You know what I mean? A blow in coverage, get a pass interference down there. Now you're on the 1 yard line. Up, game
I
over.
will say to your point too. T Higgins is a third down machine. Like that's just
They was balling.
anytime I see T Higgins, he could be a number one anywhere. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and
Almost
that's what I'm saying.
anywhere else that don't have a top receiver like Minnesota,
They was
he a number one.
that passing game was giving us headaches the whole game. So it's like I get it and being conservative and playing for the win. So it's like, all right, we just trying to kick this field goal. Boom. All we need is a field goal to win. I get that. When I say throw the ball, I don't want people to mistake and think that I'm like, oh, they're going to be throwing verticals. No, you don't have to. You can throw a
Oh nah.
RPO. You can throw a hitches. You can
You can run
throw
a quick
a
stick
seam route.
concept. Like you can do anything. Like
You can do throw a screen route, something that's actually going to try to get the ball down the field. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, they've been giving us cushion all game. Let's use that. And when because they gotta give us cushion because if you playing bump and run, you got the receivers that can beat man to man defense. And then if you do that and you give up a touchdown, this game. So I'm glad that he was being soft because now we got that roll going. But just as a football fan, that was bad. That was a bad play call. That means he should have left the ball in Joe Burrow's hand. And then on the Bills end, I get it, but I feel the same way with them. Like, yeah, y'all lost. He had a terrible game. You probably should have ran it, but that's what you pay that man for. That's what he's his. You know what I'm saying? His name brings that type of notoriety. His name brings that type of confidence. When you get to talking about, uh, because they always hating on my dude, so I ain't even gonna put his name in it. So when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, you know what I'm saying? You got even Dak Prescott. You got these names, these big names that you pay all this money to. That's what you get paid for. You get paid to bring your team down and be in winning in a be able to kick a game winning field goal or a game winning a walk off touchdown. That's what you're paid for. You're paid to win games. You're not paid to sit there and play it conservative and be like, oh, okay. Now sometimes yeah, you got to be smart and
it
live for the
dep-
next down.
it depends on how the game going too. Like if
Yeah,
like I say for your point for the Bengals, like he been balling all game. Okay, in that instance, if they would have went with Burrow, cool. You know what I'm saying? It would make more sense in their case. But in other cases, bro, I'll be looking like, why is y'all throwing the ball? This dude only completed this many passes, or his
yeah.
last two
No,
drives he got bat downs or something. Like y'all need to run the ball.
yeah. No,
But it
I
just
mean
depends
I get that.
situationally, yeah. But I get
Yeah,
what you're saying though.
I get that too. Like if you're having a bad game and it's like, bro, you're not that guy, pal. But it's like when you know what I'm saying, you supposed to be head cheese, big D on campus, no Diddy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Right.
you gotta go out swinging. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the big cheese. You gotta go out swinging, bro. You can't like that's one of the reasons why your boy Deshaun Watson got so much flack in y'all game. I mean, yeah, he wasn't playing good all game, but coach want to go for it on fourth down, and he's walking off. Like, no, bro, we brought you in here. This is what we brought you here for. We brought you to win us games. I feel like we can go. Oh, okay, you quit versus, you know what I'm saying. And I think Zach Taylor quit on Joe, and I think Josh Allen they he just wasn't having a good day. But at
Right.
the end of the day, I think the Bills made the right call because that's what you get paid for.
We're
If
gonna
you
end
gonna
up
live
talking
by the
about
gun,
them in
die
a
by the
minute
gun.
anyway.
My fault. I had to say that brief little segment because I wanted to see how you felt about that one. My fault. Go ahead. We can push on.
Yeah. I thought the Bengals did the right thing in that instance. I just thought it was. I just that hold. I think if that hold was straight up, they probably drilled that kick and got it off. But whatever.
But they had me.
But if he would have held it and then he would have missed, then that's another story. But yeah, let's move on. We're gonna go ahead and do our prime time
Now that's what
picks.
I did. That's how I was doing that kick.
Right. We're gonna go ahead and do our prime time picks before we get up out of here. All right, the
For
first
sure.
prime time game is the 49ers at the Seahawks. That one's gonna be 8:15 Eastern Standard on Thursday. Who you got?
I don't know, bro. They both coming off a loss.
Facts.
I'm gonna take the Niners. I still think the Niners are a better organization. They got more pieces. I believe that they're going to find a way to bounce back, especially after losing to the Cardinals.
Right, and that's my whole theory too. Like I think they're just a better organization. They still got a good roster, and yeah, I think they go ahead and get this dub on Thursday too. I thought for sure you might have picked the Seahawks, but
I thought about it. I almost did, but I like the Niners. To be honest, I've always kind of liked the Niners, but until we play them. But you know,
yeah,
so
facts.
yeah, I'll go with the Niners.
Cool, cool, cool. So we both got the Niners there. That's cool. All right, and I don't really need to say much more than that because that's pretty much my analysis too. Sunday night, 8:20. That one is the Bengals at the Giants. Yeah, who you got
One,
there?
we talked about this. They need to go ahead. NFL, come on now. Let's get this flex real quick. We got a couple of days. Let's get this Bengals and Giants game flex. Put that at 1 o'clock. We don't nobody care about them. Put the Ravens and the Commanders. Put that at Sunday night at 8:20. Better views, man. That's the game that everybody want to see. That's America's game right there.
You
But
know, you know, if they flex anybody out, they gonna bump the Lions and Cowboys from 425 to 820, bump them up to 425, and keep it pushing. if they bump
right.
anybody, if they bump
Hey,
anybody,
but
but
listen,
whatever.
but it's 2024, man. We've been cyber and bullying for the last 5 years, bro. Anything is possible. I believe in America. Come
All
on
right.
now. Cyberbullying, bro. You cyberbullied the people who made Sonic to recreate Sonic. Remember that?
Yeah, man, they knew that was trash though.
True. They know this game is trash. Don't nobody want to see this Bengals of the Giants. But if I got to pick, I guess I'm going with the Giants, man. Forget the Bengals. Forget the Bengals.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. As much as I wanted to say the same thing, I got the Bengals just because they offense is more proficient. Giants, they just don't got it, man. I don't know. They beat us, like I said, so I can't hate too much. But yeah, I got the Bengals. Hold on, thought I had to sneeze. But anyway, next game Monday nighter, 8:15 Eastern Standard. We got the Bills at the Jets. There you go.
Bless you.
Appreciate it, bro.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. You say you taking the Bengals, right?
Yeah, I got the Bengals.
All right.
And then,
Uh,
yeah, next is the division. It's the Bills at the Jets.
as much
So,
as I would really I want to say the Jets. I want to say the Jets had home in prime time. Aaron Rodgers usually always find a way to show up, but I don't see the Bills getting embarrassed like that in prime time twice. And the Jets got an organization problem. They just fired their head coach. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Bills. I'll take the Bills.
man,
Man,
this
you
is
passed
my
it to me.
bless you, bro. This is the one that I just think is the easiest pick of them all. And you know, I might have to eat my words next Tuesday. But anyway, I think the Bills are about to throttle the Jets. I think it's about to be. I think Aaron Rodgers might throw another 3 picks in this game. I think it's going to be ugly. So I got the Bills too.
What's uh what's our what's our overall pick?
You know what? I ain't even calculated it. I know you up.
I
I know
think
you.
I'm 5-2.
So we had the 49ers and Seahawks. We both picked Niners. We had Bengals and Giants. You picked the Giants. I picked the Bengals. And then we had the Bills and the Jets. We both picked the Bills.
Yeah. But as of going into this week, I'm 5-2. Hey, speaking of, before we get off, what we gonna do for the winner, man?
Oh no, that's a good question, bro. We'll think about it. We'll think about it and put it up here so we can make
I
sure.
say maybe I don't know. We'll think about something. We'll talk about it off there.
Yeah, we'll talk
I gotta
about it
win. I
after.
gotta win something. I'm leaving. I'm coming home or something.
It's cool. Yeah, you got dubs now because I lost. I think last week was my best week. I think I had. Let me see. Let me look at it real quick. I had one dub there. I had I lost. I picked the Steelers for the Cowboys and Steelers, so I lost there. And then Kansas City, I won there. So yeah, I was 2-1 last week.
Yeah, and I was 1-2 because
I think
the
I got
Bucks folded on me.
I think I got five. I think I got 5 L's so far. Hold on, wait a
Okay, so
minute.
we backwards then. We 2-2. I'm 5-2. You probably what 2-5.
Nah, because I just said I won 2 last week, and then the week before that, I'm 3-4.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I'm three
right.
and
Well,
four.
yeah, man. The Bucks folded on me last week in prime time. The
Phew,
Saints.
which is
I
crazy.
knew I knew I was reaching with the Saints anyway, but they had a shot, man. But yeah, that's all I got, man.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so that's it for that, man. And then just real quick, couple of upcoming things that I wanted to bring up is UFC 308. I cannot wait for UFC 308. We got the who I got up here. Let me see. I know Max Holloway is fighting, and the last time he fought, he knocked out Justin Gaethje, calling him in the middle with a ring. That was just one of the best knockouts I ever seen in my life, bro. So I gotta give him credit, and I think Cosmot fighting too. So I can't wait to watch UFC 308. I know the W is. Oh, do they play? I think they game one of the finals for them is tomorrow. Let me check that out real quick. I got a lot of my teams playing on Saturday. I'll tell you that right now. Of course, O State is playing Saturday at 7:30. Columbus Crew, that's my MLS team, 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. The USA national team, 9 o'clock on Saturday. It's gonna be a heck of a Saturday, for sure, for sure. So, yes, sir. And then UFC 308, of course. Well, the UFC 308 is not this week. I think it's on the 26th. Never mind. But anyway, I digress, bro, with the upcomings. Anyway, man, this is your man Ciege. This is E Carter over there. What's good?
Before we get out of here, it is something I did want to touch on. Um, I just recently started coaching. I know you know, but I recently
Yeah.
got back into the coaching game. It's a new league, and I talked to my. I'm a defensive coordinator for the A7FL league. Um, it's I think it's about 10 or 11 years in. If you looked at it, Pat McAfee gave it national attention about a month or two ago, so starting to make a little movement. It's a 7-on-7 full contact. It's for. I'm not gonna lie, this league is for them YNSs, bro. It's for them YNSs, man. You ain't got to get up and go punch no clock the next day. So I started off with that. I talked to the head coach, man. I'm gonna try to start bringing attention and awareness to that game and that sport. Um, I guess as as the league starts and tournaments and games and stuff like that, I'll definitely give y'all the heads up. Like I said, I am a defensive coordinator. This is out of Columbus, Ohio. So anybody in Columbus, Ohio, if you was ever interested in the A7FL League, please you can hit me up on Facebook. Uh, Eric Carter Jr. You can hit me up there, and I can try to get you the information. Just have you come out and try out for the team, sign the contract, see what you about, and let's go out here and play some football. But like I said, I already got to go ahead from the head coach about bringing awareness. I want to say in the future, I should have the go ahead to even show highlight tape. So if it's something on there that I see and we want to cover it on here, we would have the go ahead to show it as well. But like I
Bet,
said,
bet,
just something that I wanted to bring attention to and let everybody else know. And like I said, I'm a defensive coordinator for the Columbus Guard Dogs in Columbus, Ohio.
bet. Congratulations on that. And I did know, but still, congratulations anyway. And a couple of corrections real quick. The Liberty do not play the Sun. They play the Lynx, Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx beat the Sun. I forgot about that. But the game is tomorrow. Game one, Liberty versus the Lynx is tomorrow. So yeah, so that's what's up with that. Um, Pretty much the only correction there, but I just wanted to make sure because I kept saying the Sun and I wasn't sure, so I went on ahead and looked that up. It is the Minnesota Lynx at the New York Liberty is the WNBA Finals. All right. Anyway, y'all see the bottom of the screen. You can go on YouTube at the Link Entertainment LLC. X is at the Link ENT LLC, as with Facebook, and I believe Instagram is the same as YouTube at the Link Entertainment LLC. You can also go to the Link Entertainment or the Link ENTLLC.com for all of the podcasts and content we got across the board. Be sure to check out Kurt's Custom Engraving as well, where we just do custom stuff for everybody, including the lights that I showed last time. Just check the site out. You can also email us at kurtzcustomengraving or at gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can get the next content. You can get notified when we make our next video, and just you'll see more posts and more. I've been posting a lot of different clips from this podcast and another podcast that I do called Anime Maniacs with my man Allegretto. So just stay tuned with us, and we appreciate y'all for listening. Till next time, this is Ciege and E Carter for Sports Entertainment and Extra
She.
All
Go
right, y'all.
Ravens.
Peace. Be safe. Go Browns. Reds. Let's go.
Let's go Ravens.